Welcome. Let's find a comfortable seated position, allowing the spine to be nice and long. Let the eyes softly shut. Start to check in with your breath. Notice what's happening with your thoughts. Notice what's happening through the body. Just observing our breath, noticing where we are. Noticing any thoughts that are coming in, see if you can let them go. This morning I was thinking about fatigue because I woke up rather exhausted. And I realize it's really because over the last couple of days, I have not allowed myself to find any stillness. I've just been constantly working and pushing myself and moving forward. And a lot of times we have that. We have a busy modern life. And so this morning as we move through our practice, I'm going to be pushing you to get your heartbeat up, get your body moving, get your breath challenged. And then I'm going to encourage you with that energy to then find stillness. And just notice what happens with your body. Notice what happens with your thoughts. Does your heart rate slow down? Does your heart rate stay moving quickly? With the quick heartbeat, can you still find that place of stillness? Can you slow your heart rate down? Can you slow your breath down? What's happening right now while we're sitting and breathing? Where's your heart rate? Where are your thoughts? That's the thing about building energy and working on that energy to sustain it through our practice, through our lives, is even in those times of high energy, high stress, can we still find an easy breath? Can we still find stillness? Because it's easy to find stillness when we're just sitting and breathing and we've taken this time out of our day for our practice, for this asana. The challenge is finding this same space, even in the chaos of a crazy, long Sanskrit named yoga pose, or the craziness of our lives. So whatever has come up, whatever has happened while you've been sitting and breathing, inhale all that in. Hold the breath at the top. See if you can feel your lungs moving slightly from side to side. You can even let your body drift forward and back, feeling that air going into all the little spots in our nervous system. And then open the mouth and let it out. Take another deep inhale in through the nose. Maybe making little circles with the spine. With the breath full, this just helps the air to transfer into those little pockets that sometimes don't get reached with each simple breath. And then open the mouth and let it out. Take another huge inhale in through the nose. Hold the breath at the top. Maybe making little circles in the opposite direction. Notice any thoughts or worries that are still holding on, and recognize that you've dedicated this time to yourself, and so often the best thing that we can do for any of these thoughts and worries is to let them go and say, I will see you in an hour. So one last time, open the mouth and let them out. Take a deep inhale in through the nose for 3, 2, 1. Slow exhale out the nose. 3, 2, 1. Deep inhale in, really let the spine get long, crown of the head high. Exhale, keep that length to relax the shoulders, knees, and hips. Take a deep inhale in, let the belly fill up, the diaphragm that space down below your ribs. Slow exhale out, push out all that air. Inhale the arms out and up. Bring the palms together, exhale them down in between the eyes. May your practice cultivate enlightened thoughts. Inhale, exhale the hands in front of the mouth. May your practice cultivate enlightened speech. Inhale, exhale the hands in front of the heart. May all of your practices cultivate an enlightened heart. Allow your hands to come down towards your shins. You can change the crossing of your legs if you would like to even out the body. Allow the backs of your wrists to come down toward your knees. And then take your right hand in front of your mouth and fog it up like you would fog up a mirror. Start to find a rhythmic breath. Then transfer that breath to your nose. Allow your hand to come down. Keep that rhythmic breath in and out of the nose. And then you can take your right hand, if you would like, and place it on your diaphragm and notice how each exhale, your diaphragm pulls in. Then you can allow that hand to come down when you find that rhythm. And then focusing on your exhales, start to let the breath come a little faster. Focusing on those exhales, let the inhales start to come naturally. Keeping the spine long. Maybe letting the breath get a little faster. Letting the belly pump with every exhale, letting the inhale come naturally. This is called breath of fire. If you'd like, you can bring your index finger toward your thumb, straighten out your other 3 fingers for Gyan Mudra. Otherwise, just keep the wrists relaxed. If you lose the pattern of the breath, or you start to find yourself not finding that full exhale, take a deep inhale in and a deep exhale out, and then come back. Some strange things might start to happen to the body. The body might start to warm. You might start to feel a little strange through your head. Maybe close the eyes. Then turn your gaze in towards your nose and then up toward that third eye point. And just allow some of these sensations to roll over the body. If you come out of the pattern of the breath, then take a deep inhale in and deep exhale out and come back. Notice if the spine is still long. Notice if your knees and hips are still relaxed. See if you can feel with each exhale that generation of warmth from your diaphragm and let it spread out to your heart, down to your root, out to your fingertips and toes. And then everyone take a huge inhale in. Hold the breath. Open the mouth, exhale it out. Hold empty. Take an inhale in, 3/4 of the way in. And begin one more time, breath of fire. Breathing a little faster, as fast as you think you can. We're going to do this for about 30 seconds. So just let it go, let it be long, let the spine be long, let the breath do whatever it might in this strange, quick movement of the diaphragm, the breath, lengthen the spine, finding those full exhales each time. Let the inhales come naturally, reach the crown of the head a little longer. Take your hands up to 45 degrees. Bring your fingers in, thumbs in toward each other. Huge inhale in, bring the thumbs together. Fingertips up. Hold the breath. Open the mouth, exhale it out. Let the hands come down. You can place the hands down, maybe turn gently one side to the other. Find those easy long inhales, long exhales. And just notice what's happening through the body. What's happening through the breath as we went from this crazy sensation of breath, all these sensations through the nervous system. See if you can start to allow it to slow down. And then as you're ready, allow yourself to settle. Let your hands come back towards your knees. Close the eyes and sit as still as you possibly can. And then notice the slight differences in the nervous system, slight variances. So often when we have these heightened experiences, we get caught up in them. And then when we try to slow down, we try to just get rid of the experience. But you're sitting a little differently now than you were 2 minutes ago. So just let yourself sit where you are now. And allow your hands to come down to your shins. You can change the crossing of your legs again if you would like. And then holding on to your shins, inhale, take the chest forward, gaze up, roll the shoulders back. And exhale and reverse, pull against your shins in the center of your back, far back behind you, chin down towards your chest. Inhale, rolling all the way forward. And exhale, heading all the way back, pulling against your shins. Exhaling out a little extra air. Inhale, rolling forward. And exhale, rolling back. Inhale, bring the spine back to neutral. Exhale, place your hands out in front of you, roll up over your knees and toes, and come into tabletop. Let your knees be hip distance apart. Line your toes up with your knees, hips, ankles. Spread the fingers. Let your knees be slightly behind your hips. And then inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart, roll the shoulders back. And exhale, reverse in the center of the back, far up into the sky. Push down with the tops of the feet. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart. And exhale and reverse. Inhale, coming back to neutral. And then exhale, tuck your toes. Really spread the fingers, crown of the head long. Inhale, lift your knees just an inch up off the earth. Spread the fingers. Press down to the tips of the fingers. Engaging the core, lengthening through the crown of the head, rolling the shoulders back, tucking the shoulder blades in toward each other. Same deep breaths. And inhale, straighten the legs, plank pose. Reach the heels back, crown of the head long. And float the knees just an inch up off the earth, maybe coming up toward the tips of your toes to really engage the core. See if you can start to feel your torso parallel to the earth. Long through the spine, same deep breaths, engaging that core. Spreading the fingers, press down to the tips of the fingers and that second knuckle. And this time, inhale, lift the hips. And exhale, back, downward facing dog. Sink the heart towards your toes. Notice if your second toe is lined up with your ankle, knee, and hip on each side. Triceps toward each other, pull the low ribs in. Take one more inhale in. And again, exhale, float the knees just an inch up off the earth, but keep your heart sinking down towards your toes. Heart back, like you're trying to almost sit your hips back on your heels. And inhale, hips up, straighten the legs, sink the heart. Inhale, coming forward to plank. Exhale, shoulders way out over the fingertips, elbows in, chaturanga. Inhale, right back up to plank. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, rolling forward to plank. Exhale, floating down, chaturanga. Keep those elbows in, inhale, back up to plank. Press down to the tips of the fingers. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, rolling forward. I know you might be thinking, why is this so challenging right now? See if you can just breathe a little deeper. Elbows in, exhale down, chaturanga. Inhale, right back up to plank. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Walk your hands back to your feet. Release the head, shake it yes and no. Let the spinal cord be long. Let the weight transfer a little more toward the balls of the feet. Maybe clasping opposite elbows to release a little more. Interlace your hands behind your back. Pinkies down toward the earth. Try and bring your palms together. Release through the neck, and that space behind the shoulder blades. And gently release the hands down. Bring your hands to your shins. Inhale, coming halfway up. Tuck the chin, feeling long. Transfer the weight towards your heels. Exhale, releasing down. Inhale, halfway up. And exhale, release. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release a little deeper. And then walk the hands back out, downward facing dog. Inhale, coming forward to plank. Exhale, float the knees just an inch up off the earth. Engage the core, same deep breaths. Press down to the tips of the fingers. Inhale, plank. Exhale, one forearm at a time down to forearm plank. Interlace the fingers except for the pinky and ring. Roll the shoulders back. Pull your elbows towards your big toes if you want to find that little shake and quiver. And then see if you can find the stillness even while challenging the body. And if you're really feeling ambitious, breath of fire. It generates that little extra bit of warmth through the core, through the body. Otherwise, long inhales, long exhales. And then everyone take a deep inhale in. And exhale, place the hips down, place the palms down, roll the shoulders back, untuck the toes. Release through the core. You can rock gently from side to side if you would like. Find those deep breaths, and then find a little stillness. And gently release. Bring that left hand under The left shoulder, right hand out to the right side, lined up with the right shoulder. Press that whole right palm down. Bend the left knee, send that left heel up and over. Spending a lot of time getting into those shoulders, so let's open them up. Press down with that whole right palm, so much so that the right forearm comes slightly up off the earth. Maybe reaching that left hand up and back, trying to lay the back of that palm down on that right hand. Opening up through the right shoulder, right collar. Keep the right shoulder active as it's opening. Same deep breaths. And gently coming back through center. Take the left hand out to the left side. Right hand under the right shoulder. Bend the right knee. Press down with that whole left palm. Send that right heel up and over. Same deep breaths. Noticing what's happening through the nervous system. Notice what's happening with the thoughts, with the breath, maybe reaching that right arm up and back. See if you can still find some stillness. And slowly coming back through center. Interlace your hands behind your back. Lift the wrists up off your sit bones. Start to lift the chest. If there's any pinching in the back of the neck, turn the gaze down. Bring their big toes together. Heels up toward the sky. Same long inhales, long exhales. See what happens if you reach long through the crown of the head. So you're not only engaging the low back, but lengthening through the spine. Keeping your chest and knees floating, bend into your knees. Reach back for your ankles, tops of your feet, kick into your hands. Chest high, roll the shoulders back and toward each other, knees in toward each other. And once again, if you're feeling ambitious, breath of fire. Now it might feel a little strange with your diaphragm down on the earth. See if you can kick a little more into the hands. Still find that focus on the exhale, the warmth in the body. Knees a little closer, toes a little higher. Everyone take one more huge inhale in, get everything a little higher. And exhale, release all the way back to child's pose. Knees nice and wide, big toes together. Really release through the low back. Find a little stillness. Noticing all of these perhaps strange and unfamiliar sensations in the body, especially if you've been joining us for Breath of Fire. And then see if you can start to let them go. Let yourself find stillness. I know I find myself so often exhausting myself because I don't give myself these moments of stillness. And not a stillness where I am thinking about all the things that I need to be doing and thinking about all the things that I just did and waiting for that wonderful epiphany that's going to suddenly fix everything in my life, but actually letting myself just be still. Mind, body, breath. Easy and calm. As you're ready, find your way to downward facing dog. Pull the low ribs in, sink the heels. Now maybe you can bend one knee and then the other if you would like. Wake up through the calves, hamstrings. And then inhale the right heel up. Be sure that that hip doesn't stack at all on top of the left, but that the toes stay pointing down to the earth. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders out over the fingertips. Inhale that right heel up and back. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Inhale that heel up. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Inhale that heel up. Exhale, knee to nose. Softly place the right foot down near the right hand. Be sure that second toe is lined up with the ankle, knee, and hip on each side. Pull that right heel back to engage the right hamstring. Pull that left hip forward like you're trying to scissor your hips. If you pull hard enough, you can even find that little shake and quiver. That means a good thing is happening. Finding a little more opening, a little more strength. Start to come up to your fingertips. Take the weight out of the hands. Maybe even float the fingertips back behind you. Same deep breaths. And left hand down, reach the right fingers up. Try to line those left fingers up with your left toes, kissing that belly button in toward the right thigh. Notice if the right knee tries to fall out to the right side and pull it back in. Same deep breaths. Take one more inhale in. Exhale, place that right hand down. Inhale, bring your hands to your hips and come up. Keep pulling back on that right heel, forward with that left hip. Engage the core, reach the left heel back behind you. Relax the shoulders. Right hand down, left fingertips up and over. Slightly back, open up through that left psoas. The more you reach back with the left heel and the longer you stay through those left fingertips, the more you can find that spot in the left hip. Same deep breaths. Long inhales, long exhales. And inhale up, crescent pose. Exhale, chest to thigh. Inhale, bring that left knee all the way up into your chest. Pull it in. Exhale, slowly send that left foot all the way back. Gently place it down. Inhale up, crescent pose. Exhale, chest to thigh. Inhale, left knee slowly up into your chest. Move with control. Exhale, send it all the way back. Float. Inhale up, crescent pose. Exhale, chest to thigh. Inhale, bring that left knee all the way up. Exhale, send it all the way back. Inhale up, crescent pose. This time exhale, hands to hips. Take an inhale in, lengthen. Exhale, float that left knee. 3 long breaths. Still with the right hip pulling back, left hip pulling forward. Keep pulling back on that right heel. Deep inhales, long exhales. One more inhale in. One more exhale out. Inhale up, crescent pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Left elbow, right thigh. Push down with that right hand. Know that that left knee is there if you need it. Opening, twisting if you'd like. Left hand down, right fingers up. Bind if it's in your practice. Long inhales. Long exhales. This is such a wonderful pose for working on the strength of our diaphragm and the strength of our breath. So our diaphragm feels like it's being crushed between our ribs and our pelvic bone and right into that right thigh. So even with that resistance, See if you can gently force that same deep breath, even in this tight, twisted space, that same warmth. Take one more inhale in. Exhale, slowly unwind. Make a little pillow with the left side of the mat. Place the knee down and tuck the toes. Bring both hands to the inside of that right foot. That right hip might feel a little strange. Take the right toes a little farther forward than usual, so the right heel's out in front of the right knee. Maybe just staying here, breathing with this maybe somewhat unfamiliar sensation of what's happening in that right hip. Maybe coming down one forearm at a time. Same deep breath. Same long inhales, long exhales, and see if you can find a little stillness. Sit with this unfamiliar sensation. Slowly come up to your hands. And send the hips all the way back. Sit down on the inside of that left foot. Pull that left heel around. Turn the chest right over those toes, long through the spine. Start to walk the heart out over the toes. And release down. With each inhale, get a little longer. Pull wherever you can. With each exhale, release a little deeper. Very nice. Finding a little stillness. Letting the heart rate slow down. Keeping the head heavy, slowly roll up, one vertebra at a time. Take the left hand back behind you. Right hand to the outside of that left thigh. Nice little easy twist. And then place the right hand down to what is now the right side of your mat back behind you. Left hand to the left side of the mat back behind you. Tuck the right toes. Inhale that left heel all the way up. Sink the heart toward those right toes. And exhale knee to nose. Inhale that left heel up. Exhale left knee, right elbow. Inhale that heel up. Exhale left knee, left elbow. Inhale that heel up. Exhale knee to nose. Softly place that left foot down near the left hand, checking all of that same alignment. Second toe, ankle, knee, hip on each side. Start to take some of the weight out of the hands. Be sure that left knee is right over the left ankle, not out in front of the left toes. Maybe you're floating, taking the hands back towards your hips. Same deep breaths. You know where we're heading on this side. So see if you can find that bit of stillness, even while challenging the body, challenging the nervous system. Can you still find stillness in the thoughts, the body, Stillness in the movement of those long, easy breaths. And right hand down, left fingers up. Notice the alignment, toes, ankle, knee, hip on each side. Bend a little deeper into that left knee to pull that right shoulder a little farther underneath you. Kissing that belly button into that left thigh, same deep breaths. Notice if the right heel is still pointing straight up into the sky. Remember that throughout this whole series, that right knee's there if you need it. Take one more inhale in. Exhale, place that left hand down. Bring your hands to your hips and come up. Pulling that right hip forward, left hip back. Keep pulling back on that left heel. Keep that left hamstring engaged. Know that that right knee's there. Otherwise, keep breathing. Deciding how much you would like to challenge yourself. Recognizing that each of these poses is just a distraction from our breath, from that stillness. Just as we have so many distractions in life, can we still find stillness? Left hand down, right fingertips up and long. Reach them up and over, slightly back, open up through that front right hip. If you know where your psoas is, that's what you're going for. Breathe a little deeper. Keep pulling that right hip forward, reaching long through the right fingertips. Same deep breaths. Very nice. Inhale, coming up, crescent pose. Exhale, chest to thigh. Inhale that right knee all the way up into your chest. Ooh. And exhale, slowly head all the way back. Send that right foot back. Inhale up, crescent pose. Exhale, chest to thigh. Inhale that right knee with control all the way up into your chest. Exhale, slowly send it all the way back. Inhale up, crescent pose. Exhale down. Inhale through and up. Move with your breath. Move with control. Exhale, send it all the way back. Inhale up, crescent pose. This time exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, lengthen and crescent. Exhale, float that right knee. Lengthen through the spine as you inhale in. Exhale, keep pulling back on that left heel. Inhale, pull forward with that right hip. Exhale, keep the length in the spine. One more long inhale. Long exhale. Inhale up, crescent pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Right elbow, left thigh. Push down with that left hand. Open up the outside of that left hip. Open the arms. Bind if it's in your practice. Work on that deep breath down into your diaphragm. Know that that right knee is there if you need it. Long inhales, long exhales, gently forcing a little extra breath, working on the strength of the diaphragm. Notice if the right heel is still pointing up into the sky or if it's falling out. Same deep breaths. Still trying to reach the crown of the head long, even in this strange, twisted space. One more long inhale in. Exhale, slowly unwind. Hands to the inside of that front foot. You can make a little pillow with the right side of your mat if you would like. Let your left heel come out a little farther than usual, so it's out in front of that left knee. Maybe just staying here, working with those sensations in the hips, maybe coming down one forearm at a time. Same deep breaths. Long inhales, long exhales. Find a little stillness. Slowly come up to your hands. Send the hips all the way back. Sit down on the inside of that right heel. Pull that right heel all the way around. Chest out over those toes. Long through the spine. Start to walk your way out. With each inhale, lengthening, engaging the low back. Find that maybe little baby cobra. And with each exhale, rounding down a little deeper. And as you're ready, find a little stillness. Lengthening through those hamstrings, through that hip. Lengthening the breath. Noticing where the thoughts are. Notice your heart rate. And slowly rolling up. Place the right hand back behind you, left hand to the outside of that right thigh and twist. Push down with that right hand to get a little longer through the spine, twist a little deeper with the left hand. And place the left hand down, left side of the mat. Tuck the left toes. Send that right foot back to meet the left. Downward facing dog. You can bend one knee and then the other. And then inhale forward to plank. Exhale down, chaturanga. Inhale through and up, your back bend of choice. Might feel a little warm. If you'd like to go ahead and straighten the arms, exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, rolling forward to plank. Exhale, floating down. Inhale through and up. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale, rolling forward. Exhale, floating down. Inhale through and up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, coming up to the balls of the feet. Turn the gaze forward. Step or float to the front of your mat. Exhale, down, forward fold. Inhale, coming halfway up, hands to shins, feeling long. Exhale, release down a little deeper. Inhale, put a little bend in the knees, rolling up. Reach the arms out and up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale the arms out and up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale out and up. Exhale down, heart center. Inhale out and up. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale out. Exhale, lead with the heart. This time as you inhale, bend deeply into the knees, reach the fingers up, chair pose. Exhale, lead with the heart down to the toes. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands, stepping back to plank. Take an inhale in. Exhale down, chaturanga. Inhale through and up. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale, coming up to the balls of the feet. Turn the gaze forward, step or float to the front of the mat. Exhale down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release. Inhale, bending into the knees, rolling up. Reach the arms out and up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, out and up. Exhale, lead with the heart. Inhale up, Utkatasana, bend into the knees. Exhale, lead with the heart. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands, step, float back. Chaturanga. Inhale through and up. Exhale, back, downward facing dog or child's pose. I know, it's so weird. We did sun salutations in the middle of class. What happened? I never do sun salutations anyway. Just notice what happened with the heart rate. Notice what happened with the thoughts. See if you can find a little stillness. Meet us back in downward facing dog. This time just bring that right foot forward, so use your core. Just slowly bring your knee up towards your nose and place it down in between your hands. Place the left heel down, line that right heel up with that back arch. Lead with the left fingers and come up, warrior two. First time we're really opening the hips, so pull the feet in toward each other. Turn the hips out so they're lined up with that long side of the mat. Notice if that right knee is collapsing in toward the left side. Open it up. Engage the core, relax the shoulders. Same deep breaths, maybe bending just a little deeper. Right elbow, right thigh, left arm up. Use that right elbow to open that right hip. Pull that right hip under. Keep that right thigh reaching out. Maybe right fingers down, left fingers up. Maybe reaching that left hand back, bind if it's in your practice. Keep that right hip pulling under. Keep that right heel pulling back. Keep those right hamstrings engaged. Inhale up, warrior two. Straighten that front leg, turn the right toes in, turn the left toes out, and bend down, warrior two. Pulling the hips so they're lining up the long side of the mat. Pull the feet in toward each other. Relax the shoulders. Tuck the hips slightly underneath you so they're not sticking out back behind you. Knee not collapsing into the right. Left elbow, left thigh, right arm up and over. Same deep breath. Notice your breath. Notice your thoughts. Still finding length. Lengthen the breath. Left fingers down. Maybe bind whatever you got on the other side. See if you can find that stillness. Find that same breath. And slowly coming back, warrior two. Straighten that front leg, turn those left toes in, right toes out. And this time reach with the right fingers and down. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Pulling that right heel back, keeping that right hip tucked, pulling the left ribs in, pulling the feet in toward each other, finding a little stillness, a little deeper breath. Deciding to stay here or left hand to your hip, bending to the right knee, right fingertips out, take the weight forward and up, Ardha Chandrasana. Maybe floating up off those right fingertips, maybe reaching the left fingers up. Find that focal point, let it be soft. Lengthen through that back left heel, really stacking that left hip on top of the right. Maybe the right hand toward that right shin. Breathe a little deeper. And then gently, just like when we were moving through balancing on that right leg in crescent pose, start to bend into that right knee. Float those left toes all the way back, warrior two. Straighten that right leg, turn the right toes in, left toes out. Bend down. I'm sorry, keep that left leg straight and reach. Trikonasana. Same deep breaths. Trying to line each and every joint, pull those right ribs in. Staying here, right hand to your hip, left fingertips out, Ardha Chandrasana. Keep those right toes flexed, stacking that right hip on top of the left. Maybe floating the right fingers up, maybe floating up off the left fingertips. I know the body is probably getting really tired. See if you can just breathe a little deeper. Find stillness in that fatigue. Find a little extra strength in your breath, that fire from that core, just like we were still doing breath of fire, generating that extra bit of warmth. And then just like we did before, bend into that left knee, float those right toes, coming back, warrior two. Straighten that front or left leg, turn the left toes in. And release down, forward fold, wide-legged. If you have a Shirsasana practice and you'd like to place the crown of your head down, tripod headstand. Otherwise, just release down. This is a wonderful restorative pose, transferring the weight a little more toward the balls of your feet, and then interlace the hands behind the back. Let your pinkies come down toward the earth. Try and keep your palms together. Deep breaths. And releasing. Start to walk out toward the right toes. Turn the right toes out. Come into the lunge. Place the back knee down and tuck the toes. Go ahead and make a little pillow with the left side of the mat. Keep the left fingers down, bend into the left knee, reach back with the right hand. A nice little thigh stretch. And gently release that side. Send the hips all the way back. Sit down on the inside of that left heel. Pull that left foot all the way around. This time cross the left heel over to the right side like you're trying to stack that left hip on top of the left knee on top of the right knee. See if you can still ground your hips. Flexing those right toes, trying to pull that left heel back, keep the left toes active. Now this might be enough right here for you, just trying to sit up tall, trying to open up through the hips. Keep those right toes active. Maybe Trying to lean forward, trying to get your chin up over your knee. Otherwise, just stay here, breathing, opening up through the hips. Same long breaths. Now we're starting to cool down. See if you can start to let the heart rate decrease. And slowly coming up. Bring that right heel around. So now stacking both knees as much as you can, sitting up tall, sinking your sits bones down. Left hand back behind you if you would like. Right hand outside of that right thigh. Take an inhale in, lengthen. Exhale, unwind. Now take that left foot and place it down. So the heel is now down on the earth. Keep that left hand back behind you, right elbow to the outside. And twist. Just a little deeper twist. A little deeper breath. Take one more inhale in. Exhale, unwind. Keep that unwind going. All the way around, back behind you. Straighten the legs, coming up to the balls of the feet. Keep that rotation going all the way around over those right toes. Come up to the balls of the feet again, and voila, you're on the other side. We'll go ahead and start with that right heel down, pulling that left heel in toward that right glute. So we're going to do the opposite of what we just did. Right hand down, left elbow to the outside. Twist. Same deep breath. One more inhale in, lengthen just a little more. Exhale, unwind. Pull that right heel so it's lined up with your right hip. Try and keep those right toes active. You don't want to sickle that foot. Maybe just working on stacking the knees, sinking the sits bones down. The tendency here will be for that right hip to suddenly become very light. See if you can put the weight back in it. And then maybe taking that right hand behind the back. And then notice the difference between the twists. It might be subtle. See if you can feel the difference of where it's stretching in the hips. Lengthening through the spine. Same deep breaths. And slowly unwind. Start to straighten that left leg out. Keep that right knee stacked on top of the left. Maybe just working on sitting here, sinking the sits bones. Maybe trying to get that chin out over that knee. Keep those left toes flexed. Keep the right toes active. Try to not sickle that foot. And slowly unwind. Bring that right foot in. Take the weight forward to that lunge. Make a little pillow with the right side of the mat. Right knee back, right hand down. Reach back with that left hand. Bend that right knee. Pull it in. Release through that thigh. Sinking the hips. The more you sink the hips forward, the more you'll feel that release through the thigh. Nice breathing. And gently release that side. Let the mat unroll. Send that left foot back to meet the right. Take an inhale in. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale through and up. Exhale back, our final downward facing dog. Notice if it feels just a little different. Then inhale forward to plank. Exhale down to your back. But actually, bring your hands underneath you. Let's come into a reverse tabletop. So you can have your fingers pointing towards you or away from you. Slightly lift your hips. Cross the right ankle over the left knee. Really flex those right toes. Place the hips back down, back toward your hands, so that you are rotating forward from your hips, taking a round out of the spine. Now you can stay here, or if you would like, start to walk that left foot over to the right side of your mat. Place the left knee down. Keep that right foot flex, stacking that right shin on top of the left. And again, maybe staying here, just working on sinking the knee down, keeping those right toes flexed. Maybe gently walking the hands out in front of you. This pose is sometimes called fire log pose, and I had a student that commented that the reason it was called fire log pose wasn't because your shins are actually stacking on top of each other like fire logs. It's because it burns the heck out of your hips. I thought that was pretty clever. Because it is true, it can definitely generate some nice fire through the hips, especially if you keep those toes active. Take any sickling out of the ankles. Finding a little stillness. Slowly coming back up. Hands back behind you. Place that left foot back down. Gently lift the hips. Right foot down, cross that left ankle over the right. Really flex those left toes. Sit back down, back towards your hands. staying here or walking that right foot over, keeping those left toes active on top of that right thigh, sinking that left knee down, stacking the shins. Maybe staying here, maybe finding your way out. And then notice what parts of the hips we try to avoid by maybe adjusting a foot or relaxing the toes, and see if instead of avoiding those tight places, we can sit with them. Find a little stillness in that unfamiliar. Start to let it release. Same deep breaths. Slowly start to make your way back up. Release. Put your hands back behind you. Place that right foot down. Gently release that left foot back down to the earth. And place both hips down. Release the feet out in front of you. Flexing the toes back toward you, feet hip distance apart, lining up that second toe, ankle, knee, and hip on each side. Pull the flesh away from your sit bones. Sit up tall, long through the crown of the head. Take an inhale in. Exhale, staying long. Try and get your heart up out over your toes as you reach out, Paschimottanasana. Few long, deep breaths. You can decide to either find some stillness here, or if you would like, on an inhale, find a little cobra, a little arch. And then exhale, round a little deeper. Keep those inhales and exhales going, lengthening a little with each breath. Feeling that life nerve or that amazing group of fascia that run all the way through the bottoms of our feet, backs of our legs, through either side of our spine, connect up to the crown of our head. Feeling it opening and releasing. And breath of fire. No, I'm totally kidding. Few breaths. Notice where your thoughts are. Notice where your breath is. Letting the head be heavy, slowly come up, one vertebra at a time. Slowly head all the way back to your elbows, and then down to the earth. If you'd like, you can come into an early Shavasana. Sometimes feels really nice. After that long forward fold, sometimes it's a little too much of a shock to the system. So if you would like, you can stay here or bring the knees up into your chest, release the low back. Place the heels down close into your sit bones. Push the heels down, lift the hips up, come into a nice easy bridge. Tucking one shoulder blade and then the other if you would like. Hands under your shoulders and push yourself up if you're feeling ambitious for Urdhva. Few deep breaths. Slowly, gently make your way back down. Bring the soles of your feet together, let your knees fall out to the side. Right hand to your heart, left hand to your diaphragm. Noticing your heartbeat with your right hand, your breath with your left. And then straighten that left leg out, pull that right knee in. Pull the right knee over the body with the left hand. Nice, easy spinal twist. Letting go of any last bits of worry, stresses, thoughts. Just know where you need to be. Nothing you need to do. Allow these last few moments, few minutes, to let the body find integration, healing, space. Slowly straightening that right leg out, pull that left knee in. Gently pull it over the body. We so often work ourselves to this point of exhaustion all the time. If we can learn to appreciate and really go deep into these times of stillness, allow our body to recover, to release. With that in mind, slowly coming back to center and extend out into our final Shavasana. Letting the toes fall away from each other, tucking one shoulder blade and then the other. Palms up if you're open to a little physical adjustment here in class. Palms down if you'd rather conserve your energy or tuck them underneath you, and I'll just let you be in your own space, in your own energy. Crown of the head a little longer. Relax your jaw and tongue. Relax your breath. And then feel all of that movement and work and expansion, breath, everything we've done on our journey through the whole nervous system. Say thank you for all of that movement. And then allow all of that sensation to become heavy. And allow yourself to really find stillness, ease of breath, weight and stillness in the body. Letting each thought go as it comes in with every exhale. Allowing yourself this time of integration, of healing. It's time for you. It's time just to be. Slowly find your way back. Notice how you're breathing. Listening to your breath, decide if you would like to stay here, melting down into the earth, or start to activate however feels natural. And eventually, slowly rolling onto one side or the other, keeping the eyes softly shut, you can decide to stay here on the mat, or find your way back to that same comfortable seated position. The choice is yours. Wherever you are, notice if your nervous system is sitting a little calmer, if your breath is coming a little easier, if your thoughts seem just a little bit further apart. And maybe the overwhelming fatigue of life seems a little easier with this ability to find stillness wherever you are. Inhale the arms out and up, bring the palms together, exhale them down in between the eyes. May your life be filled with enlightened thoughts. Inhale, exhale the hands in front of the mouth. May you always have the patience for enlightened speech. Inhale, exhale the hands in front of the heart. May your heart have the healing it requires to live an enlightened life. Namaste. Take your time. There is absolutely no rush. I just want to thank you all so much for allowing me to guide you. As most of you know, these are all donation-based classes. For those of you that make it here in person, there's a donation station on your way out. And for those of you at home, there's a donation button on your screen. We ask that you honor the suggested $15 donation if you're able, or leave whatever you can, so we can continue to grow and bring this service to our community and to the world. It's always such an honor to be able to guide. I hope that you will take a lot of this stillness in with you into your day, your week, your month, your life, and it is truly a brilliant one. Thank you so much.